Hello, ballroom dance friends. Today, I am going to share with you some really embarrassing personal stories of drama that played out in my own dance studio. Embarrassing to admit, however, these things do happen. And as I own the largest ballroom dance studio in the United States, it happened to me too. So let's get started. First story, we had one pro couple in my ballroom, and they put down every single other teacher in our studio aggressively, just talk trash about them nonstop. And their presentation was, we're the only pros in town. And honestly, every time I've seen something like that, it is based on that teacher's insecurity. And inevitably, they attack the best pros that are their biggest threat most aggressively, and they ignore the social dance teachers. I don't recall ever, in my experience, seeing a social dance teacher put any other teacher down. Okay. So in a nutshell, I kicked them out. No drama in my life, because that can be an infection, guys. If you have someone that's tolerated in your studio. Now, it is possible. I was a very present owner, but some owners are not. If you're seeing something that is damaging your studio culture, I would suggest speaking with the owner in private, as they would want to know. It's a business, and they ultimately will not be able to stay open if they have a cancer in there, infecting and making all the other teachers and students uncomfortable being there. And we all want to feel loved and supported and positive, okay? I do feel this is the benefit of a chain studio. Although I've never taught there, my understanding is that very limited drama between the teachers. It's a very tight social controls. Okay, next drama I have seen in my own studio are people talking badly or wanting to exclude others from social dances. Now, for the record, I've only seen this happen once, really, in the ballroom dance world, at least in my experience. Your experience may be different. And I've seen it a lot in the salsa world, where people are just bashing each other socially. Especially the follows on the side of the room. Oh, he's so bad, I didn't want to dance with him. You know, like, lady, you're not God's gift. But anyway, I have seen it a lot in that community. And I've seen a ton of drama in our local West Coast swing community. So these are kind of subcultures or related cultures to the ballroom dance world, but they are separate. There is some cross-pollination in the people who participate in these cultures, but honestly, not much. And I've never seen this in the Argentine tango community, at least in my area. And I'm very rare in the ballroom dance world, but I have seen it, and I don't like it, guys. No negativity. The vast majority of the people are very positive. And I would say even more than most dance cultures, compared to, say, ballet, for example, though my experience there is limited. And certainly outside of the dance world, like in the workplace, this is pretty common. It is not common in the ballroom dance world, but it does happen and leads heads up to you. The only time I've seen it take place in a ballroom dance is where there's a lead out there who drags the follows around the floor with a bunch of fancy routines that the ladies struggle to follow. Now, leads, I know you think you're impressing that follow, but honestly, the follows are not there to be impressed. If they want to be impressed, guess what? They'll take a private lesson. They just want to go there and be able to follow you. In fact, even I am a pretty skilled follow. I appreciate when a lead just dances a little routine over and over again around the floor. And that way their leads aren't as much as a surprise to me. And she can, or he or she, whoever's following you, can just focus on talking to you and enjoying the dance and the music. Okay, guys? Now, in terms of dance drama between teachers, honestly, the vast majority I have seen has been between the male dance teachers. In my own ballroom, I have not personally seen it between the female dance teachers or so much between females and males. If it is, it's definitely, from what I've seen, instigated by the male teacher. That being said, maybe it's different in your studio, and if so, I would enjoy hearing that story. Obviously, don't share names. I don't want to virtue shame anyone, but I do think it's helpful that we have an open forum here to share our common experiences so people know what to expect, and I certainly would not want people to feel isolated, and I would want them to know how to proactively handle that situation and make it better. Okay, here's another cray-cray story for you. I still cannot believe this happened, guys. Insane. Now, this story does not involve that pro couple who was nasty about every other pro in town, especially in their own studio. This is two other pro-am male teachers, and they hated each other. Hated. As a matter of fact, they showed up to a competition, the same comp, as there's kind of a one circuit. You know, we all share the same comp circuit, NDCA competition. And unfortunate turn of events, the hotel booked their rooms side by side. They walked out of their rooms and discovered this, and everything hit the fan. And I swear to you guys, they came this close to having a fist fight, touching, shoving in each other's faces. And the only thing that ended this is one threatened to call the police on the other. I am so humiliated as a studio owner that this happened between teachers in my studio. One of them was a leaser, so it's not like they entered the comp under my studio name, but still utterly, I've never even heard of such a thing, let alone it coming from people that I personally know. Insane. And the students knew, and they were screaming in the hall. Heaven forbid someone I know overheard these people. If they do, they probably don't know they're associated with my studio, so thank heavens for that. But it does happen. And the sad thing is, it's inevitably pros that are just intimidated by each other. Perhaps they have lost a valuable student to that other teacher. That being said, I can tell you when students do switch teachers, it's not without cause. Usually, they just can't get in enough lessons with the teacher they prefer. And teachers, there's always someone out there that's going to be an option. It doesn't matter if they're as good of a dancer as you. If they show up and are respectful and kind to their students, hey, something to be said about that. I also have seen when the teachers fight, call me as the studio owner to literally scream at me on the phone for hours. I had another go up to my car window when I pulled in, and my daughter was a baby in the back seat asleep, and he banged on my car window. I thought he was going to break it. He was like screaming at me how it's him or me. You have to kick that person out because blah, 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 blah. They stole my student. They took the music. They are, whatever. Silly, silly, silly things, guys. Again, if you see something like this happening, privately alert the studio owner and they will intervene, as I did. Although, fortunately, I was there a lot. Even when my daughter was small, I just took her to the ballroom with me every day. I had a playroom for her, and I took care of business. And I'll bet your studio owner will too. Unfortunately, there are studio owners who are really desperate for money. And in that case, they might tolerate drama despite the long-term damage to you and your studio culture and the teachers, but they might tolerate it just out of necessity financially, because a lot of studios, especially independent, I should say, are financially strapped. Not a problem in the chain studios. I can almost guarantee they'll nip that in the bud. Okay, guys, I've got more crazy stories for you. And if you've seen any drama in your local dance studio, I would really appreciate hearing about it. But you know what, guys, as I've previously shared, I am far from the only studio I've seen this in. As a matter of fact, I've seen it in every studio I've ever taught in, set aside one team in London. Anyway, I will be back tomorrow morning with some more crazy stories about the ballroom dance world. Thanks for joining me today, guys. Happy dancing. Bye.